Well, the book came about because of my appearance in the film The Art of Rap. The producers were so taken by my penmanship and stories of how I have this collection of books of lyrics, and I showed them some of my books, and they were just so blown away. They was like, you need to do a book. You need to do a book of your books. So instead of, there's lyric books out, but no one's done a lyric book actually photocopy from their writings. Is an extension of my appearance in the film, and hopefully it kind of gives people a little more, you know, a little more history as far as Grandmaster Caz is concerned. Personally, I'm sort of this like legendary figure that that's out there and that people talk about. You know what I mean? But there's not a lot of physical stuff of so. I don't know. It's kind of a catch-22 kind of situations. Had I released a large body of music, but probably be in a better financial situation. The fact that I haven't, I guess, makes me a little more of a rarity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In that sense. So, like I said, it's a catch-22. I definitely would have liked to have had a more lucrative and successful recording career. Unfortunately, I wasn't in a position. The places that the companies that I got involved with and that I was tied down to, in no way gave me that kind of outlet to have a lucrative recording career. They weren't doing anything for me at the label, you know. It was just and I couldn't do anything else outside of the label. Whenever opportunities arose, it was like, no, you got to do this, you got to do it here, you got to do it here. So most of the stuff that I did for that label was half-hearted. The Cold Crush Brothers, like myself, are more known for our live performance, our historical, placement or status in hip hop
Right.
is mainly because of our live show and our live performance.
Yeah.
Well, I guess what they say is the Cold Crush were never able to capture their live performance on wax. You know what I mean? And you're not supposed to. That's what makes it a live performance, that it's not on wax. You know
Right.
what I mean? And same situation with the label. We weren't at a good, productive label, a label that added to our creativity. They kind of stifled our creativity. When we tried to go one way, they wanted us to go another way. And it seemed like everybody we came in contact with wanted to change us up or switch us up some way. And we just weren't for it. We didn't. We'd rather sacrifice making records or being on a label if we had to do that. I would have to say the Run DMC era
Yeah.
initiated the second generation of hip hop.
Yeah.
And it would have to be sucker MCs that really, kind of, wow, whoa, this is back to just beats and rhymes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So as
yeah.
you could tell, we had taken hip hop as far as we could go without it turning into something else. I mean, by the time we was wearing leather suits and furs and you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
studs and stuff like that, because we were trying to incorporate the energy from the punk rock era, which was also, excuse me, a rebellion against disco and hip hop. That was a rebellion against rock and roll at the time, and hip hop was a rebellion against disco. My thing has always been to stay ahead of the pack and to constantly, evolve and to constantly do different things that keep me in the infrastructure of this culture. Okay, I'm not gonna. I haven't had the success that would keep you a viable recording artist. Okay, but this is hip hop. This was hip hop before it had anything to do with the recording industry, and that's what I hold dear to me. So I am a constant hip hopper. Okay, my life revolves around this culture. I'm a DJ. I'm an MC. I'm a b-boy, and I'm a graffiti cat. I'm hip hop itself. Hip hop doesn't need a hot record. Hip hop doesn't need a video. Hip hop doesn't have to be on the top of the charts. All hip hop has to be is consistent. Okay, and I feel like I've been consistent for
Yeah.
38 years in this culture, and without the recording industry's, blessings or, pat on the butt or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I sustained my own career.
Yeah.
No managers, no record company, no booking agents, publicists, or nothing. I'm self-contained.
Right.
I do it on myself. And had I lost the passion for this culture, then I would probably be like, I guess, some of the other people that you see, kind of disgruntled, you know what I mean, mad at the world because I'm not included in things and
Right.
stuff like that, but that's not my attitude. I feel, I still got my swag with me. Hey, come on! To this day, rappers that like comes on,
Right,
and it's
right.
like there's a little twinge, but I mean, come on! It's not going to stop coming on. The situation is not going to change, and I pretty much have it, in perspective, in my mind and in my soul. So, I mean, I moved on. I moved on. There was only two things you could have done about it, back then where I come from. Okay, you take it to the streets, you know what I mean, or you eat it and you move on. Okay, I ate it and I moved on. It was my mistake. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't want. I never want to. I don't want to go down in history as the guy that got jerked by Sugar Hill Records for. That's not my legacy is much bigger than that. And there's so much more, and there's so many more contributions I made to this culture and continue to. And that's my thing. That's my thing. Not to just get hung up on what went wrong, but let's keep on trying to get things right. Well, we knew what we were doing was important, but Wild Style kind of validated it from an outsider's point of view. When you see other people coming from other walks of life that say, wow, what's that thing you're doing? I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I think let's document that. Then, yeah, that's what we felt about it. And we felt it was really, it kind of validated us thinking that it was important when other people saw that it was important.
And was there other films too? I saw somewhere about Beat Street that you were going to do it, but then they were trying to make you guys audition or something?
Yeah. The film Beat Street, was a Hollywood production. See, Wild Style was a movie from the heart. This was made because the person cared about what was going on and he felt a connection to it. Beat Street was Hollywood trying to capitalize on hip hop.
Right.
Okay, so here comes this legendary actor, director, you know what I mean, singer, composer, Harry Belafonte, who you feel like this guy's a cultural icon. If he comes here, he's going to do this. He comes with the Hollywood shit, you know what I mean? Oh, this and that, such and such. We need auditions, set up the auditions. How you going to come into something that's brand new, and these are the people who invented it, and you're going to ask them to audition? No way in the world I'm auditioning for a hip-hop movie to play myself. In the early days of MCing, not rap, MCing.
Right.
Hip hop was, freestyling was saying a rhyme that's not connected to a routine or a song. It's just an individual rhyme, that you have, you know what I mean. Either today, freestyling means rhyming off the top of your head with no preconceived thought. All right, that's what freestyling is today. But in the early days, freestyling was just a rhyme that you had on the side, just your regular rhymes. That was a freestyle rhyme.
Right.
Okay, if I say, if I got a song and then I do a rhyme from that song, okay, that's not a freestyle rhyme. That's connected to something. You understand?
Yeah.
So that was the difference between freestyle then and now.
When did the now definition come about, do you think?
I guess the now definition came when people started freestyling, when people started going off the top of their head and
90s.
tried to come with something to call it. I mean, that was the best definition to use, freestyling. And if you think about it, it's kind of it's truer to the new definition than it is to the old. Okay, freestyling is more. It means more than going off the top of the head to me. If you put the two definitions together, that would make more sense to me than the early days. But that's how it was. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I wasn't in the train yards with them guys, spray painting trains. No way. I'd have got my ass whooped.
Yeah.
Okay, and but I definitely was into graffiti on paper. Basically, I was a paper graffiti artist. I mean, I don't consider yourself a writer, because a writer is someone who goes out and writes. Okay, but I consider myself a graph artist though, because I can do it on paper. My earliest hip hop memories are on Sedgwick Avenue. My friend and I putting our turntables together and trying to make continuous music. You know, practicing b-boy moves in my house and stuff like that. You know, the Casanova crew, which was the first group of b-boys I met, and then I got down with it. That's how I got my name, Casanova Fly.
Yeah.
And that's from being a b-boy. That was before DJing or MCing. I don't know. Half of it is probably things that I would want to do. You know, I definitely want to do another album, a real studio album that, you know, that really took time to do and present, and let that be my last offering. I want to do my other book, my biography. You know what I mean? I think people know Grandmaster Caz, but they don't know of Grandmaster Caz, and really, and you know, if you think that all the things that people do know about me, and because the accolades and stuff that I get from that, imagine if you knew how much shit I've been through. All right, to still be here. And that's
story.
what the book is going to be about. Yeah, pretty much. That, and, you know, I'd really like a professorship somewhere at a
Well,
college.
you've done that, haven't you, already? Even given lectures, right?
Oh, yeah, sure, I've done it. But I mean, like, officially, I want the title, you know what I mean, from some learning institution, you know, of higher learning. I definitely want that, because they're teaching hip-hop in colleges right now.
Yeah.
They're teaching hip-hop, and these are people who learned it from people like me. So why shouldn't I be a professor? Why shouldn't I be teaching
I agree.
hip-hop?